guys, happy Friday. I hope everyone's ready for the weekend because I know I sure am. Ooh, shaky. So I really just wanted to wait till I got home to film this, but it's just on my mind and I don't want to, I don't know, while it's fresh I needed to get it out. So I'm just leaving work and there's so many things that are obviously different from when I grew up or from when our parents or grandparents grew up. Things change throughout the years, and there's always going to be changes, but from when we grew up to the kids now, I think is one of the biggest differences because of technology. And it's starting so young where my 6 and 7 year olds have Facebooks and Instagrams, and they tell each other how many followers they got. And for example, one of my girls I used to have, she was 9 at the time, 9 or 10, and she was really upset the one morning, and I asked her what's wrong, and she said, oh, I had 23 followers and now I only have 22. I don't know why. I think I'm getting fat. And mind you, this is a 9-year-old girl who is a beanpole, and it was just broke my heart. And I always talk to my group of kids, especially my older group. I'll take them privately and talk to them about social media and stuff like that. And I really try to, without crossing boundaries that the parents set, I also like to remind them about stranger danger and not to film in their school clothes and stuff like that. So today, me and my coworker, and every day really, we were leaving, and I'm sorry about the squeal, guys. I just can't. So we were leaving, and it's every day the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders kind of stand towards one end of the chain link fence around their school. And the language, and I know we cursed when we were younger, but I really don't remember it being what it is now. And the foul, just how foul they are to each other and how cruel. And kids can be mean, but it's just so different, and it terrifies me for my nephew. I always raise him and want to raise him to say you are a leader, you're not a follower. And as much as you can teach your own kids, your family members, like my nephew, you just it sucks. You gotta send them out to the wolves and hope that, they're smart enough and able enough to make it. And just this morning, these group of boys, and just the way they talk about girls, and fuck this bitch, and da-da-da, and they're using C words and N words, and the mouths on them. I want to record it, and I really just want to be I want to wait for their parents to pick them up, but usually these kids aren't the ones getting picked up by parents. They're the ones walking or doing whatever they want, and just show them your kid talks like this. And of course every parent's gonna be I don't raise my kid to do that, or I don't curse around them. And of course at that age they're coming into their own and they're choosing those words, but some of you gotta wonder how much of that really is coming from home. And it's just so foul. And then the way the girls judge themselves, and when they wear uniforms, but when they have dress down day, they get to pick what they're gonna wear to a limit. And the girls, some of the stuff they wear, it's just crazy. And then I don't know, that was just really on my mind. It terrifies me, and I want kids one day. I don't think you'll ever be ready, and I always feel that, and I don't want to wait too long, but I kind of feel like I have. I don't know, it's a weird situation, but I'm terrified I'll have a girl. I can feel it in every fiber of my being. I will be cursed with a girl who's worse than I was. And I used to joke and say to my dad and stuff I gotta go, I gotta pray to Botcha. She better change God's mind and give me a boy, because I would love a boy. I would love a girl too, but as long as they're healthy, happy, that's fine. But it's just not my time yet. I'm not, not trying or anything like that. But it terrifies me. It absolutely terrifies me on what these kids do now. The girls judging their worth on followers and likes, and the boys just learning so much so fast and online, and you can say all you want as a parent, like, well, I'm not going to let my kid have a Facebook at that age or this or that, which that's great, but then how much are they behind, and how much, you know, of course I'm not going to let my kid have a Facebook at 5 years old. Their whole lives are on social media at this point. But I don't know, just a thought. I don't know, it's hot. Hi guys, so we're sitting down at the river right now, and this is like one of Mike and mine, our biggest pet peeves. Like, put your dog on a leash. I don't understand it. So there's a guy who's here quite often, and he has 2 dogs who he doesn't keep on a leash, which that's already super annoying. And then here comes a woman with a little tiny, like a, I don't know, what kind of dog is that? A Yorkie or something. And she starts walking, and one of his bigger dogs comes over, and she picks up her little dog, and she's holding it, and then, you know, his other dog, so 2 dogs now, are like jumping around her feet, kind of, not on her, they're just like near her feet, and she's trying to walk, and they're following her. And the guy whose dogs they are, he's not doing anything, and then after like 2 minutes of his dogs following her, he's finally like, realizing like she's uncomfortable and starts to call them. Then she gets upset and starts saying something to him, and he is definitely like super arrogant and cocky. You can just tell by the way he talks and his stance, and he's telling her like, well, you could have went the other way, and then she's saying stuff to him, and then they're just kind of bickering back and forth. And at first I'm just like, you 2 are both idiots, and you both need to have your dogs on leashes. I think that like it really needs to be enforced. I don't care how good your dog is, other people's dogs aren't, and you don't know, even if your dog's the best dog in the world, what could set him or her off. Then the lady ends up coming back with her dog off the leash again. She had picked it up and put it on a leash. She took it back off the leash, and the little dog goes running and almost gets hit by a car. I mean, you're gonna talk to someone and tell him like, you need to have control of your dogs, and then you don't have control of your dog. I don't know. It's just, is it me? People are just so stupid anymore. It's frustrating to watch. It's like really frustrating to see that this is what our society has become. I don't know. Just another thought, guys. Okay, me and Stanley are here. We have something to say. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I gotta get a shower.
I don't gotta get a shower.
Yes, you do. Give me a kiss. Mwah.
Mm.
All right, good night, everybody.
And you and I, we got history, yeah.